Ron, is credit reporting an effective collection tool?
Our industry is full of a lot of little credit bureaus all around the country. I couldn't tell you how many hundreds there are. But it's kind of a myth that credit reporting is a good collection tool, at least initially. Actually, it's a terrible collection tool initially. And let me explain that. Let me use you as an example, Kent. Let's say that you owed two people money. You owed them both $1,000. One of those people has already put you on a credit report. They've already given you a black mark. The other one hasn't. Now, your goal, Kent, is to have as few black marks on your credit report as possible. The one guy's already given you a black mark. Which one are you going to pay?
Well, the one that hasn't already given you a black mark.
Absolutely, because even if you pay the other guy, you cannot erase that black mark. Sure, you can have it marked as paid, and it maybe becomes a dark gray mark, but it's still a mark on your report. So, yes, if you put it onto a credit report, you just automatically assigned yourself to last in line to be paid. One of the things that people bring up, well, what if somebody was going out to buy a new house and they had to have their credit report cleared? Well, in today's economy, how many people are going out to buy a new house? I just don't think that it makes a lot of sense to initially jump into credit reporting. Ultimately, yes, after the account has been all the way through, perhaps even court, if it hasn't been paid, then it should go on to a credit report.
Ron, your group has an exemplary record of recovering profits from past due patient receivables. How are your collection systems different than others in the industry?
All collection agencies can do basically the same thing. If you think about it, all we can do is send written demands, we can make phone calls, and we can sue. I mean, we can't drive up and down the street with a bullhorn broadcasting that so-and-so doesn't pay his bills on time, things that they did in the golden days of collections. Those things are all illegal. Letters, phone calls, court. The thing that we discovered back in 1970 was that we were doing the same thing over and over again, that our business was not about rocket science. If you could automate what we do, you could reduce the costs. We figured out what it would cost to send 5 written demands, each progressively more severe, each instilling the fear of the unknown into the debtor. What would it cost to send those 5 demands? And then we added a 10% markup as profit. Well, we're still following that same process today. We send out 5 demands at a fixed controlled cost of between $10 and $15 per account, depending on what your volume is, and considerably lower if your volume is higher. And so you can afford to turn us in earlier. Now, that's the secret to collections. Your accounts depreciate, become uncollectible at a rate of about 0.5% per day after day 90. So the most expensive thing you can do is do nothing, because every 30 days after 90, 15% of your hard-earned money just evaporates, becomes totally uncollectible. The problem is with typical agencies, they want to charge 30 to 50%. Well, I don't know anybody who wants to give up 30 to 50% of their earnings, so they tend to sit on the accounts too long. But if you can afford to turn somebody over for $10, and I don't care whether that's a $20 balance or a $200 balance, $10 you can afford to turn them in at 90 days while they're still robbing Peter to pay Paul. And that's the beauty of our system. You can get the impact of a fully licensed national collection agency with a local presence in over 100 offices and do it at a controlled cost. That's really the key to why we're so much better.
Well, I can understand with your explanation why you guys are very successful. Ron, what is the best way for potential clients to reach you?
Well, you can go to my website at the Ann Arbor Debt Doc. That's AnnArborDebtDoc.com. Or you can reach me at my toll-free number, 866-536-9688.
Ron, that's about it. You've really done a good job of answering some of the most compelling questions regarding collections, a very critical part of dental and medical industries, and I really appreciate your time.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, Kent.
Thank you very much. Check out our website, dentalpracticecash.com, for all your practice financing needs. We offer equipment leasing, working capital loans, financing for remodeling and expansion, as well as practice acquisition financing. That's dentalpracticecash.com. Thank you for joining us today. Tune into part 2 of our series when I interview Sandra Simmons, owner of Money Management Solutions. Sandra will offer excellent tips on managing assets and controlling expenses in your practice. Thank you for joining in.